you guys, this is your girl Exotical Sauce coming back at you with another video, and I wanted to just take the time to address a video made by the one and the only, the beautiful Exoticals United. The video she released about a day ago about a colorism content creator named Silas the Golden Peach. I'll put her name on the title so you can go check her video out. But this content creator that Exoticals United was reacting to is a dark-skinned black American female who says she basically hates being black. The creator gave a little bit of a backstory about how, like, who she was and stuff, and how her mom met her dad. She said her mom was a crackhead, and she was, I guess, drinking in a bar, and she met her dad. Her mom met her dad in a bar, some random guy, and they had sex, and she was born. This content creator does not show herself, so I don't really know how she looks, but she goes on to say that her dad was ugly as fuck, and she came out looking just like him, so she thinks that she's ugly as fuck as well. She said her mom told her that she wanted to have a son originally, but she came out as a girl. Her mom also hooked up with a random white guy, and her mom got pregnant by the random white guy. I don't know if her mom was prostituting herself or what was happening, because she said she was a crackhead, so that may have been what was going on. Her mom was probably tricking, and she hooked up with a random white guy, but she got pregnant as a result of that hookup, but she lost the baby. So the content creator goes on to say that, well, you know, the biracial child that her mother miscarried deserves to be here on Earth more than she does, and she wishes that she was never born. And she says that if she had a choice to come back to Earth, she would not come back as a black person. She grew up very miserable. Being black is miserable. And I just really feel bad for her, because she kind of reminded me a little bit of Rashida Strober and the things that Rashida Strober used to say about how being black is miserable. So Exoticals United does a really good job of breaking down the inferiority complex of this content creator and her internalized colorism. As always, she gives an excellent psychoanalysis about that. But I just wanted to add something to what Exoticals United did say about the young lady's inferiority complex, and just give a little bit more in depth as to where I think it came from. First of all, and I'm not talking to all black people, but this problem is a little bit too prevalent for us to ignore. And the thing about it is, black people really in general don't like taking accountability for shit. They don't like saying I'm sorry. They don't like apologizing or admitting that they're wrong. And this woman she really honestly needs to be on somebody's couch talking to a licensed professional. She needs not to be on YouTube or any kind of social media platform talking about this kind of stuff. This seems like a very deep-seated issue of self-hatred, and she really needs to get help quickly, because she sounds like she's crying, for one thing. And I mean, she comes off very suicidal, saying that she's miserable. There's no point in being a good person and showing people what a good person that you are. You're still like a worthless waste of human. That's what she's calling herself. And it just makes you wonder, who is the one that made her feel like she's worthless and like she's a waste of human, and gave her such a negative experience growing up as a black girl? Because she doesn't address anybody white. It's like she doesn't address the larger society or white people at all in the video. Her content was originally geared towards colorism, and colorism is something that exists within the black community. So her issue is with the black community and how she was treated within that community, you know. Judging by the way she's talking, I can basically tell you that a lot of the stuff that she thinks of herself is probably something her mother told her. Especially the part about, well, my dad was ugly as fuck, and then I came out looking just like him. I mean, you can't tell me. I've seen this play out so many times that whenever a lot of these black mothers get mad at their kids, they call them, you know, ugly, especially if they're dark skinned. If the child is dark skinned and they do something like to piss the mom off, like maybe they spill some water on the floor, you dumb black motherfucker, you dumb black bitch. I've heard black mothers call their kids that. I've heard black mothers talk about their kids' skin tone, and you dumbass black bitch, you look just like your ugly ass fucking daddy. You did your nigga look just like the nigga ugly as hell, and you come out looking just the fuck like him. I mean, shit like that. And it's verbal abuse, and it tears the kids down. But black parents don't know anything about psychology or therapy or how the brain works or anything like that. So how the fuck would they know? They just get pissed because you spilled water on the floor, or because you got a stain on your shirt, or because you got dirty when you went outside and you fucked up your hair, or your little $200 weave they put in your head, or you fucked up your $1,000 iPhone they gave you, or you lost one of your diamond earrings, that they put in your ears. And they mad and lazy as hell. They don't want to clean up the water. They don't want to wash your clothes and fix the problem or fix the little small issue that kids have. Kids do those kinds of things. Kids spill things. Kids drop things. But because they didn't want your ass in the first damn place, you got so many single mothers that are mad that they lives turned out the way they did. They got 5 and 6 kids, but 5 or 6 different dudes, and they don't have a ring or never been married. The dude don't want them, so they mad because they stuck with the kids. The thing about it is that the self-hatred and the awful experiences that black people in general have is self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted because it's actually being black could be a very good experience if black people had more education, if black people understood the psychology of human psychology, if black people understood self-esteem, if black people understood how to raise children properly. Black people understood colorism and understood how that kind of mindset works, so that there would be countermeasures in place, interwoven in the code of conduct. But there is no code of conduct in Blackistan. There is no way in which there's no standards that people are held to. When you have no pride, you have no shame. There's no pride in Blackistan. Black people have no pride in themselves. And a lot of blacks may answer and say, well, I wonder why, look at what happened with history. Well, that's fine. But if you can actually articulate what happened in history and pinpoint the source of the problem, now you know the source of the problem. What are we going to do as a solution to undo that issue? Maybe if black people would carry themselves with class and with pride. But see, class and pride is not in. Class and pride in Blackistan is not cool. Let somebody walk around up and down the street trying to be ladylike and trying to be covered and modest and stuff. The black community will honestly clown the shit out of them. And that's why a lot of black people can't be like themselves or express any form of individuality. Say if you like gothic culture, or say if you like a whimsical style, you can't wear that kind of stuff or behave that way or display that kind of individuality within the black community, because you will be clowned and you will be made fun of, probably harassed, most likely harassed. So a lot of black people do move out of Blackistan and go and live in white areas or suburban areas, because a lot of black people really don't know how to fix Blackistan. So instead of trying to fix it, they just move out. And the shape of Blackistan, the appearance overall, with the abandoned houses and the blighted buildings and blighted houses and the trash and things like that, just shows a lack of civic responsibility. And black people don't really seem to understand that. And when you move out into areas that are like a different community, like a predominantly white area, there is a certain code of conduct that you are required to subscribe to. There's an American code of conduct that you are required to subscribe to. And black Americans typically feel like they don't need to comply or subscribe to that code of conduct. There are noise ordinances regarding loud music. Black people do not care. They blast their music, leave trash wherever, illegal dumping. There's trash ordinances. There's noise ordinances. If you are familiar with some of these body cam watch channels on YouTube, they will post body cam video where you see black American people sitting in their car somewhere, maybe in the shopping mall, and it's at night, and they're smoking weed in the car, and the police officer will pull up hey, Can you give me your ID? Can you present an ID? A lot of times black people don't present the ID. They're arguing with the officer. Well, the reason why I came over here is because you're smoking marijuana and you're not supposed to smoke out here, blah, blah, blah. The black person, they get all belligerent. Cop calm as hell. They'll get all belligerent with the cop. Well, do you have probable cause to pull me over? And do you have a warrant? I'm sitting in my car. I own this car. This is my car. This is my property. I don't owe you my ID. I don't got to let you see my ID. I don't give a fuck about your badge. You ain't shit without that gun. I don't give a fuck about you, a cop. Things like that. Like, you will see them just not complying with any rules. And they go out and take that shit out to different communities and act like that. And they end up in jail. But then it turns out to be everybody else's fucking fault but their own. Instead of just saying, hey, look, right, officer, I was wrong. I'm going to put the blunt out. I was wrong to smoke here. I shouldn't have been smoking. I'm sorry. They could have just got away with a ticket and just the cop could have went on their merry way and the citizen could have went on their merry way. But black people are the only ones that you see. Well, not the only ones, because you see some white people cutting up and acting a fool. But the thing about it is, when that white person cuts up and acts a fool, that white person catches the charge. But the entire white race or Asian race or whatever does not get the stigma. The stigma is on the black person. Like, black people could literally move out into a white area and the fucking property values will go down. Because black people are known to be belligerent, non-compliant, argumentative, loud, obnoxious people that nobody wants to be around. So if you own your home and a black person moves into the area and you're trying to sell your house, you have to lower the asking price because the black person, the neighbors, if the neighbors are black, in a lot of cases, it makes the neighborhood less desirable to live in. Like, literally, that's a thing. And black people don't get it. Instead of making the Blackistan nice, they move out. A lot of times black people do see where they live. If it's like a nice little affluent or middle class little suburban neighborhood that they moved into, they do see it as a flex. But the problem is that what are you flexing on? Because you had nothing to do with making that area nice. It was already made nice before you bought your black ass over there. And it was made nice by people that understand their civic duty and understand how to get in their politicians' asses, their city council, their mayor's ass, and tell them and demand that they fix that area and make it nice. And people who understand their civic duty, they know that they have to contribute to their elected officials' campaign funds in order to get the elected officials to work for them. And a lot of black people don't understand that either. A lot do, but not enough of us understand that to where it's a thing over in Blackistan. So, black people are looked down upon because we build nothing, we create nothing. All we do is consume. And on top of that, we're the least compliant. And where is the pride in that? Because all of those things come into play when it comes to making you proud to be who you are. When it comes to self-esteem and self-pride, when you're looking at people that look like you and they have a certain code of conduct that they subscribe to, that they take accountability for their own mistakes, that they fix up the areas they live in, and they carry themselves with pride. And you as a black individual can do all those things. You can carry yourself with pride. You can take a personal accountability. You can stay to yourself and not do anything to anyone. But the image that everyone else's perception of you is based on what other people that look like you and how they behave matters, and it affects you. You may not have done anything to anyone, but how other people that look like you carry themselves affects you. Then you have Blackistan. The school systems are poor. The curriculum is poor. When you're in Blackistan, the curriculum is different than what it is in the suburban areas. Blackistan curriculum in the public schools are not taught the same things that are taught in suburban schools. The curriculum is different. That goes back to the civic responsibility. Outdated books, if any books at all. Bullshit curriculum. Kids are rushed through different sets of their curriculum faster than others. For example, words like algorithm are used in second grade homework. Second graders in Blackistan can be working on addition and subtraction one week and thrown into multiplication and division the next week. And college level words like algorithm are used, or they may throw in those little like coefficient letters like in algebra, and the kids are confused, the parents are confused, and it's just like a literacy thing. And then kids, they get discouraged, their self-esteem goes down because they don't understand their homework. No matter how hard they work at it, they don't understand it, and they eventually drop out and commit crimes, and that's known as like the school to prison pipeline. So that's at play in Blackistan. So, and don't get me wrong, this is not a police, back the blue video. This is not defending police brutality. Cases like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Sonia Massey is clearly police brutality. So, those are clear cases where the police were just doing too motherfucking much, and those people ended up dead, and it was on camera, and those police officers deserve to be prosecuted. So I'm not trying to defend the police or anything like that, or come down hard on anybody, but all of those things play a role, all those behaviors and all of those factors play a role in Black pride, and whether or not you have a pleasant experience in life as a Black person. So I just think that this woman's case is just very, very unfortunate, because I think the root of the problem is her colorist ass mom and the things that she told her daughter when she was very, very young. And that's why it has to start with the parents. You have to give your children reassurance, and that they're beautiful, that they're loved, that they're important, that they must carry themselves with pride and class, and stay on top of them, and make sure you monitor who they're talking to, who they're hanging out with. Even if you have to shelter the fuck out of them, like my parents sheltered me, homeschool them, do whatever you need to do. And more and more Black parents are doing that. That's great. But more needs to be done, clearly. But yeah, her root of her problem is her mom, and it's unfortunate. So I think really she needs some therapy. She does not need to be on anybody's platform trying to empower anybody or anything like that, because she's broken. And the source of her brokenness is coming from her mother first, and the sloppy ass way in which she did things and raised her. The careless ways that she raised her, the careless things that she said to her. Apparently, like, show me you don't care about me without telling me you don't care about me. And it was Blackistan that evidently, reinforced what her mother did to her. So go check out an Exoticals United's video, and check out that content creator and tell me what you think in the comments. But that's my little rant that I have for today, and I'll see you guys next time.